So, welcome to week 1, PSYC 13024. So, in this walking video, I'm going to tell you why I'm not there this week, and nor are you really, but we will be next week. But also, telling you why I'm imperfect. So hello, welcome to the first of our Walkie Talkie videos. Actually, I don't like the Walkie Talkie thing. It's a bit cheesy, even for me. Tell you what I actually wanted to call it was the what's it about walkabout. That might be even more cheesy. The reason I wanted to call it the what's it about walkabout is because I'm walking about and I get to say about in a kind of gangster British gangster accent. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So anyway, yeah. If you like the idea, let me know and I'll change the titles of these. If it's just, you don't think you should be humouring me to that level, I'll keep it to walkie-talkie. The basic idea is I'm walking. While I'm doing these videos, I'm going to get a cup of coffee. That's the other thing you have to be aware of in these little videos, is I'm walking to the coffee shop. So at this stage, I haven't had a cup of coffee. Now you shouldn't underestimate the threats to intellectual coherence that are posed when a lecturer is pre-caffeinated. Not pre-caffeinated. There you go. Can't even speak. So right now I have no caffeine in my system. So the chances of me making any sense are remote. But I walk into my coffee shop, I get a cup of coffee, I have a sit down, then I talk to you and share my thoughts. The other thing is it's unscripted, so I don't have my script in front of me. So it's just off the top of my head. So I could ramble, but I'll try and keep these short and sweet. So basically I'm just making these videos when I've got thoughts to share with you that I hope will be useful. Now the reason I'm making this one is because I'm recording this on Thursday before teaching begins, teaching term 1 begins, and it feels odd because I'm not actually going to meet you in week 1. I'm only going to meet you in week 2. That's the first time we get to meet. It's when we have our live tutorial. I'm either going to meet you in the morning or late afternoon on the Wednesday. So it felt odd, like not meeting you in week 1. And the reason why we're not having a tutorial in week 1 is because we don't have many tutorials. We only have 3 tutorials, 3 1-hour tutorials on our unit. So we've got one. The first one is in week 2, the second one is in week 4, the third one is in week 11. And the reason we don't have many tutorials is the same reason why we don't have that many lectures. Like we don't have a lecture every week. And the reason why we don't have so many tutorials and so many lectures is because of our big residential school that's happening in week 5. And in our residential school we get to spend a full 2 days together. I get to spend 2 days with you. You have an option of spending a third day with each other. So you have an option of spending that third day with your fellow students. Maybe talking about the unit, maybe working on that first assessment that we'll be looking at during the residential school. So that's why, because we're spending so much time together in the residential school, we've got to cut back on the time we have in our tutorials and lecture content, just to keep it fair, just to keep it fair for those students who are taking other units. You shouldn't be getting any more contact time with me than they get or any less contact time. There's a little wall. I get distracted by wallabies. Can you see the wallaby? Hello, you. Do you want to enroll on my unit? He's in the shadows. This is a wide-angle sports camera. Bye-bye. Wide-angle lens is not good for wildlife. Right. See lots of wallabies. Where am I? I should tell you where the hell I am. So I'm in Townsville. So I'm walking through the Palmetum Botanical Gardens. This is where I have my coffee shop. I have my coffee. So yeah, so the residential takes a lot of our time up. So just to be fair, for other students you don't have any more or less hours with me. So you get the same workload really. As your students taking other units. So there you go really, I just wanted to make this video to say hello. And saying I'm looking forward to meeting you in week 2. Missing you in week 1. But have a view of the lecture that I've made. There's 3 little 20-25 minute videos for you to look at. Watch those. Read the first couple of chapters of our prescribed textbook during week 1, and then for week 2 there's a paper I've loaded up onto our Moodle site for you to read, and some questions I'd like us to think through when we have our tutorial meeting. So yeah, looking forward to talking with you. So here we are coming up to the coffee shop. I need a little bit of privacy as I put in my order. I'll see you when I'm sat down and getting caffeinated. Okay, so here I am. I've got my cup of coffee. It's way too hot for coffee. I can't help it though, you know. I can't help it. I have to have my cup of coffee, even though I'm sweating it. Coffee's just I'm gonna drink the coffee and I'm just gonna sweat the coffee straight out. You know, caffeine won't even have a chance to get into my system. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, this is the little spot I usually sit in. I haven't actually been here for a while because of the floods in Townsville, and it's taken a little while for people to get their lives back together, including me. But now I'm back in my little spot. I'm quite happy. So the other reason I wanted to say hello is that in week 3, I've just finished doing the video for the first part of lecture 2, which is ready for you for week 3. And maybe I shouldn't tell you this right now. For a number of reasons, it's kind of maybe encouraging you to go and skip ahead to week 3 and view that material when you don't need to do that yet. You know, slow down. Don't race through this unit too quickly. The other reason I shouldn't tell you is because it's kind of messing with your head, isn't it? Now, if you're watching this in week 1, I'm talking about just finishing a session in week 3. I had just caused a ripple in the time-space dimension. Now, it's enough that I'm telling you that there's no objective reality out there, that knowledge is constructed through meaning making, that reality doesn't exist independently of us, that we have constructed it to look the way it does. All of that stuff, I mean, that's messing with your head enough, isn't it? I need to go and start messing with your head with doing my time shifting. Anyway, all of that aside, yeah, just finished my doing part 1 of lecture 2 for week 3. And I did the whole video. It's a short video, thankfully, for you and for me. It's about, I haven't edited it yet, so maybe it's going to be about 10-15 minutes. But I did the whole damn video with my boom mic sitting practically on top of my head, in shot, complete amateur. And I spot it right at the end of the video. So what I'll do, I decided not to correct it. Keep it in, and there's a little bit that I've included at the end of the video when I realise what I've done. But it's not just there as a humorous interlude, but I kept it in because, you know what? We're human and we're messy. We make mistakes. And I think that's something that's important in relation to qualitative methods, is to capture that, not to try and sanitize our observations. Capture the messiness of people's lives, because our lives are messy, and we're often inconsistent, often we're incoherent. One of the tensions you might find, not in this unit, because when you do your interviewing for assessment 1, you don't have to write up a transcript, you just send me the audio recording. But usually in qualitative methods, people write up their transcripts, they transcribe the audio recording. And there's a tendency there for you to correct your grammar and your English, to tidy up the way you speak, because when you listen to yourself speaking, you realise, what a mess, what's this word spaghetti coming out of my mouth? And there's a real tendency to try and clean it up. And there's a real tendency to try and clean up our data, make it look cleaner than it really is. Cut out all the ums, the ahs, cut out all of the bits that just seem incoherent or contradictory compared to what someone had previously said. Now, because in qualitative methods, we want to capture as much of the lived experience as we can, and as much of the human experience as we can. I don't know if it's failed to escape. What am I saying? I don't know if it's escaped your attention. But, yeah, life's messy. And we're messy. I'm not referring to my hair here. I thought that is messy. I'm saying we're not as consistent as we might think we are. So, it's just a reflection, really. So when I stumble through things, I'm sorry if you find it annoying. I am so tempted to clean it up in the edit. I can't tell you how many times I'm sat there putting these videos together and my finger is on the cut button, thinking when I make an error, make a blooper, I just want to cut it out because I look an idiot. I say things and I look an idiot, but I keep them in because somehow it feels disingenuous, to cut that bit out, because qualitative methods is all about capturing the totality of our experience. And yeah, sometimes we stuff up. So that's really it. My thought during my walkabout. Sorry, walkie talkie. Unless you want me to call it, what's it all about, walkabout? And yeah, mainly it was just to say hello, just to reach out to you, just to let you know I'm here during week 1 when you realise it doesn't look as though anyone's around. I'm here and we'll meet in week 2. So till then, ta-da. Get very distracted on these walks. The distraction at the moment are these tiny frogs. I'll see if I can show you. Right, I think I'm now distressing the frogs. They're tiny, they're about that big. Did you see them? So I'm having to walk really carefully because I don't want to crush any of them.